We have been getting numerous requests for the differences in the Viking Emerald 116, 118, and the Jade. These are all in this emerald jade green color, and they all have a good purpose for each one. So let's talk about each one of these machines and show you the differences in them. The Emerald 116 and 118 are both mechanical models, and the Jade 20 is going to be a computerized model. So on the Emerald 116, this machine is going to give us 16 of the most popular stitches that's out there. It will have the one-step buttonhole maker on it. It does come with a specialized attachment that will size the buttonholes every time to your specific button. You can do anything from a baby button all the way up to a coat style button. It does the standard square in buttonhole. We will have the ability to adjust my stitch width. It goes all the way up to 5 millimeters, and I can adjust my stitch length here on the machine. It's very easy on the placard here on the machine. Also, there's one right here. It will give us a lot of information on what presser foot to have in them. All the Viking feet will have letters indented into them. So for the particular stitch we're doing, just make sure you have the correct presser foot on. The machine will allow us to very easily change that width and length setting with no problem whatsoever on the front. All we have to do is line up our letters to letters, and we're able to go. On this machine, we will have a row of stitches here, and we also have a row of stitches here, and each one serves their own purpose. Because this is a mechanical machine, there's a cam stack inside the machine with a stitch finger that's reading that. So if we want to do all of our standard stitches, these are the standard utility stitches. Just make sure I have my number system right, got my width and length settings like I want it. Then if I want to go down on this bottom row of stitches, these are going to be stretch stitches. All I have to do is change my stitch pattern here, and I'm on stretch stitches. So here I would have a regular straight stitch. Now I've got a stretch straight stitch. So 2 stitches forward and 1 reverse, automatically back tacking. I have a double zigzag, a rick-rack stitch, a scallop stitch, and then I'll have a couple of overcasting stitches like you would see on a serger. The machine doesn't have a knife like a serger does, but it will have the ability for me to do these overcasting stitches. And I have a blanket stitch and a double overcast. These here are going to be more decorative stitches that's on this machine. Threading is very easy on the 116. It has the horizontal spool pin. I do have a place right here to put a vertical spool pin, so if I want to do twin needle sewing, I'm able to do that. The machine will be channeled all the way down to my needle. It's very easy to thread the machine, and I will have the built-in needle threader on this machine to thread my needle for me. The 116 will have the extra high lift under presser foot. It does have the 4-point feed dog system on it, and it has a top drop-in bobbin system on it. I do have the removable accessory tray if I want to expose my free arm. If I want to do hemming pant legs or shirt sleeves, I'm able to do that with no problem whatsoever. Then on the back side, I have a drop feed lever if I want to darn a hole or put on a button, or if I'm doing free motion quilting, I can drop those feed dogs so it's not feeding my material. The 116 also will have the adjustable pressure. That dial is located on the left side of the machine as well as a thread cutter, but I can adjust the amount of pressure being pressed down onto my presser foot. So if I'm working with lighter weight material, I may want to back that off so I don't shove that down into my throat plate. If I'm working with heavier material, I can put more pressure on it so it keeps the fabric on my feed dogs while the machine's feeding that material. There's a few other differences going to the 118 that we do want to point out. Threading is going to be very easy as well on this machine. Everything will be channeled for me all the way down to my needle. I do have the built-in needle threader. I've got the adjustable pressure and the thread cutter. It's located on this side. Same extra high lift on the presser foot. The top drop-in bobbin system, those are as easily to thread as any machine you'll find on the market. It will have the removable accessory tray as well, have the drop feed lever as well on this machine. Couple of big differences going to the 118 other than a couple more stitches. I do have a speed slider. This machine will have the ability for me to override the speed of the machine. So just like the car you drive, the harder you press on the gas, the faster you'll go. Same way with the sewing machine. We can override the speed of that, however. So if you've got someone that's a beginner and you want to make sure we don't sew too fast, or maybe you're working with a very expensive piece of material and you want to make sure you don't make a mistake, you can speed that down. There's certain areas of the garment you want to make sure you slow down so you don't go too fast by accident. And then once you get used to it, or if you want to move that up, you can go to full capacity. I also have a needle up, needle down button. This is only on the 118 as well, so I can set this machine as I lower the feed dogs. I can push this button, it's going to raise and lower my needle for me. That's very good for applique work and things of that nature. And of course, you always want to make sure on a mechanical we get the needle in the highest position while we're threading that needle. It will have the 4-point feed dog system on it as well. Metal needle plate, top drop-in bobbin. It's very easy for us to pull up the stitches on the machine. We will have a placard here on the front that shows us exactly what pressure foot we need to have on the machine while we're doing any particular stitch. It's real easy for me to dial up my stitches here on my stitch length button. I can adjust the length on all the patterns, and I can adjust the stitch width right here on all of our sewing patterns. It goes up to 5 millimeters on our width and up to 4 millimeters on our stitch length. Then if I want to go from my standard utility stitches located here, I do have the stretched feature as well. All I have to do is move my stitch length all the way over here, and this will regulate and get me down here to the bottom row of stitches, which gives me a lot more utility stitches if I'm sewing with knits and I need a reinforced stitch. Both machines do have a place built in on the bed of the machine. We can screw down the seam gauge, and they will have the ruler on the front, and that comes in handy. You always need an extra ruler from time to time. Tension system's real easy on both. It's a mechanical machine. There's nothing to worry about, but pretty much on all of our stitches and all the different types of fabric, if we keep it between 4 and 5, 99% of all fabrics out there, we're going to be able to work with no problem whatsoever on our stitches. But if you run into an issue, you can always give us a call, because you're going to get our premium support package with all 3 machines. Now we're going to move up to the Jade 20. The Jade 20 is a top of the line. It's a computerized machine, and because it's computerized, it has a lot more stitches, and it's going to have a lot more convenience features built into it. The way this machine is constructed, the outer housing of the machine also functions as a hard case. So when you're transporting the machine, you're going to be able to get the machine fully protected from anything that's out there. So basically, the front goes in just like this, and it locks on the back side, and I have a carrying handle here, so it protects everything for me. This is also my accessory tray, where all of my accessories go, and I can move this out of the way when I'm not using or when I'm sewing, and keep all my accessories together on the machine. The top of this machine will open up, and then all of my stitches are built in right here. The top of the machine will open up, and all my stitches are located right here. I have over 90 stitches built in on this machine. I can adjust the length and the width on all of my sewing patterns. This machine goes up to 7 millimeters on my stitch width. So on the machine, I'm easily able to see my placard. It gives me a numerical system that I can dial up my stitches. My first The more popular utility stitches are located right here, and I can just easily dial up that stitch, and I can adjust my width and my length settings right here, so I don't have to push a lot of buttons to get to where I'm wanting to go. We're going to zoom in on this machine just to show you a little bit more about it. I'll have 91 stitches built in on this machine. I'm able to easily go in and pull up the stitch by numerical value. Because this machine is computerized, I have a lot more control over my stitches. I have a stitch width of 7 millimeters on this machine. We have 29 needle positions. I can actually move my needle over left or center or right or center to get up to next to cording or piping. If I want a certain seam allowance, this machine automatically has a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I just push a button. It's going to move my needle over for me to the 1/4 inch seam allowance. I also have markings on my bobbin cover plate. Machine is going to be really easy to thread. It's horizontal spool pin, makes it really easy. It's channeled all the way down to my needle, so I make sure I get my thread in all the tensions. I will have a built-in needle threader right here on the machine. On the side of the machine there will be a razor as well as my adjustable pressure that regulates the amount of force being pressed down onto my material. I do also have the extra high lift under the presser foot, but this machine gives me a 7-point feed dog system, whereas the Emerald series is a 4-point feed dog system. It's going to have more surface area on my feed dogs touching the fabric, so for lighter weight materials it keeps that fabric flat, or stretchy material keeps it flat while that needle's penetrating the garment, so I don't have to worry about puckering. If I'm working with heavier material, the more surface area I've got touching my fabric, the better off I'm going to be about feeding material through. I do have the top drop-in bobbin system. I can see my bobbin at any given time. It's really easy to thread the bobbin as well on this machine because it's channeled on our bobbin. I have a lot of markings with markings on I will have a lot of markings on my needle plate as well for seam allowances, and I do have a place right here that I can screw in a metal seam gauge. And Ken Sewing Center carries everything that's made for all the Viking machines. On the front of my machine is where all my computer controls are located at. I can pull up the stitch that I'm working with, and I know exactly what stitch I'm on by the placard here, and I can adjust my width and length settings right here, so I don't have to put and look through On the front of the machine, I will have all my stitches here, so I know where all my computer controls are located at right here. All my computer controls are located right in front of me on the machine, so it makes it really easy to get to where I'm wanting to go. And the machine will come with a detailed instruction manual, what all these are. We as well can help you with any questions you have on the J20. Nice thing about this machine is I know exactly where my stitches are, and all I have to do is just pull up the number of the stitch that I want to work with, and I can adjust my width and length setting right here. I don't have to look or push a button. All my computer controls are located right on the front of the machine of the J20, so it makes it really easy and handy for me to operate this machine. I don't have to look for a bunch of buttons. I don't have to push a bunch of buttons. All my computer controls are located on the front of the machine on the J20, so I don't have to push a lot of buttons to get to where I'm wanting to go. I don't have to hunt for buttons either. They're right there visible for me, so I can easily pull up the stitch I want to do or change something. This machine will have over 90 stitches on it, and I can adjust my length and the width on all the sewing patterns. So I'm going to know exactly what stitch I'm on because it's a numerical system. So I want to do stitch number 10. All my computer controls are located right on the front of the J20. Makes it really nice and handy for me to find what I'm wanting to do. I don't have to push a lot of buttons to get to where I'm wanting to go. I'm going to easily know what stitch I'm on by my planogram here. So if I want to do stitch number 11, I just type in 11. Now I know I'm on this stitch here. I can adjust my width and the length settings right here on the machine. Now the machine also will have an elongation feature for some of the decorative stitches that's on it. I do have a fixed button that'll tie that stitch off for me. I've got the start-stop button, so if I don't want to use the foot control, I don't have to. I can override the speed of my machine as well right here on the machine. I will have traditional reverse built in on the machine. It does have the needle up, needle down feature. There's times I want my needle to stop in the garment, and there's times I want my needle to stop out of the garment. And that's the nice thing about having a computerized machine. You have a lot more control of different things on the machine. The mechanical models doesn't have a brain on them to know when to let the needle come all the way up or to let the needle stop in the fabric. And having the extra stitches is a big plus, because now I can do garment construction, heirloom sewing, quilting, you name it, all kinds of mending, because I can remove my accessory tray and I'm able to hem pant legs and shirt sleeves with no problem. I can do a lot of decorative sewing and embellishment on this machine. I have a lot more different styles of the one-step buttonhole built in. I have a square end, rounded end. I have the keyhole style buttonhole on this machine. It will come with a specialized attachment that will size that buttonhole every time to the button that I'm working with. I can do twin needle sewing on this machine as well. There are going to be more accessories available, and it comes with the Jade 20. Right now we have some great prices going on the Viking 116, 118, and the Jade. The 116 is going to come in at the cheapest price. The Emerald 118 will be a little bit more, but right now we have a super buy as well on the Jade 20. So actually, for not much more money than the 116, you can get into the Jade 20. So give us a call. We're going to be glad to help you find the right machine that's going to fit your needs. You're going to get our premium support package with any machine you purchase from us. You have us for the life that you own your machine. We have more detailed videos on each one of these machines on our website, and we'll be glad to help you anytime.